Hi everyone, welcome back to the Bioinformatics Coach channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use R to visualize phylogenetic trees. And so by the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to generate trees such as the ones that have been displayed now. For this exercise, we are going to use the R package called ggtree to visualize the phylogenetic trees. And so make sure you have installed that package. I have a separate tutorial that shows you how to install R package, so you can just watch that to set up your PC. Before we start the exercise, it's important we go to the developer's webpage. Here we will see the tutorials. So let's go there. We will start with this page, which gives us the papers that publish ggtree. I will leave the link to this page in the description box. Now let's go to the page which is of interest to me, and this is it. I will leave the link to this page also in the description box. So here you will see that the manual, the tutorials have been grouped into chapters. For this tutorial, I will focus on chapter 4 because I am introducing you to this package. So after going through the manual here, I realized chapter 4 will be a good place to start. So this is chapter 4, and so I advise that you also read the content here to get a basic understanding of ggtree. So try and then do that. So we are going to focus on chapter 4. So everything I'm doing, most of them will come from chapter 4. If you have time, you can also check the other chapters to get an in-depth knowledge, or if you want to do some complex visualizations, then you can look at the other chapters to see how that can be done. So let's proceed. Now let's go back to our R interface. We are back to our R interface. Again, we are going to write the codes and visualize the phylogenetic trees, but then we need to get our data. We need to get the example data. And so I have prepared 2 phylogenetic trees, and we are going to download those trees first. So let's go back to the browser. We will visit my GitHub page because that is where the data has been stored. So you can find the data here. I will leave the link to this repo also in the description box. So just use that and then get the data. You will see a zip file here. This is what we are going to use. So make sure you click it, and then you'll be sent to another page, and then you can click on the download button to download the file. So this is the folder, and it has the zip file that I downloaded. So I will extract the content here. Let me open it. I have 2 files here. They are both phylogenetic trees, so I will just extract them here. And let me also say that the trees here were generated using raxml. And if you want to learn how to use raxml to generate trees, there is a tutorial that I made, and you can check the link in the description box. So just use that link, and then you'll be able to get the video that was used to generate this particular files, these files. So that's what we need. So let's go back. We will now go to the R interface and then start the exercise. We are going to start with this one here, and then we will shift to this one here. This one does not have bootstrap values. This one has bootstrap values. I'm going to use both in different situations. So take note of that. We will start with this one. So let's go to our R interface. Okay, we are in the R interface. And so the first thing we will do is to load our ggtree library. So I'll say library ggtree. I'll load this first. After loading it, I'll set my working directory. It's important to set the working directory so that you don't specify the full parts of the file that you want to load. So I will do that here. So I'll say set wd and then I will set my directory. Before I set, let me just go back to that folder. This is the folder, so I am setting the directory using the path for this folder. That is what I'm doing here. So for me, my folder, this particular folder can be found in /home/ it's in my home directory, desktop, and then phylogenetic trees. If you're in Linux and you're using Ubuntu, you can also right click, open a terminal here, and then just type pwd. That will give you the path. Okay, so this path is what I'm going to use. Yours is likely to be different, so make sure you are using the right path. So I'll go back to R and then set the working directory. Okay, so I'm going to set I've already given the function here, and notice that there are two quotes here, double quotes. It's important you set it that way. So in those quotes, I will now paste my directory where the trees can be found. That is what I have done here. I will now execute this command and then it's set. So once I've done it this way, I don't need to specify the full part of the files. I only need to call them by their file names. That is what I'm going to do. So let's proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to start the exercise. We will begin by reading the tree. So we are using the first tree that I showed, the raxml-ng which is this one here. So that is what I'm going to use. So I'll read it. And then assign that operation to a variable. So I'll say my tree, and I'll say read.tree, and I specify the name, which is raxml_best tree.tree, and everything should be in quotes. If you start with a single quote, you should end with a single quote. If you use a double quote, this one should also be a double quote. So I'll read it first. After reading, I'll just say my tree. And so if I do that, I'll have a description here. So it tells me this is a phylogenetic tree with 6 tips and 4 internal nodes. The tip labels are this one. So the tip labels refer to the sequences that were used. So the names of the sequences that were used is what you see here. And there's also what rooted includes branch lengths. So that is what we have. Let's proceed. Let me just put a comment here. And then we continue. So I say read the tree. Okay. We are now going to plot a basic tree. So let me say plot a basic tree. So I'll say ggtree, and then I specify my tree like this, and then I'll run it. So if I do that, I'll have the tree appearing here. So this is the tree. So let's proceed. Notice that the tree that we have, we only have the lines here, but we don't have the labels. That is these ones here. It's important you have it there because that will help you to interpret the tree and also help you to understand the tree. So to add the labels, we use the geom_tip_lab function. And so we will do that here. So let's do that. Let me just give a comment here first. So I'll say plot a tree with labels. And then I'll say ggtree, and I specify my tree like this. And then I'll add the geom_tip_lab function. So I'll say plus geom_tip_lab. So this will give us the labels. So let's run this. Perfect. Now we have the labels appearing here. Let's proceed. You can also plot a tree without ladderizing. Now, this term ladderizing came up when I was looking at the documentation for ggtree. So I tried looking up the meaning of ladderize. So this is what I got. Let's look at that first. So I got to this page and this is what I got. So it says to ladderize a tree means sorting the nodes on one level by the count of their subnodes. It usually makes understanding the tree easier. This is what I got. I will leave the link to this page also in the description box. So this means that if you ladderize a tree, then it will help you to understand it better, or it will help you to easily understand the tree. So just note that this feature is also available. So you can look at it and then you can decide to enable or disable the ladderization option. So let's go back to ggtree and then look at how we can plot the tree without ladderization. By default, trees are plotted with ladderization, but if you want to disable it, then you need to explicitly specify it so that ggtree does not include the ladderization feature when visualizing or when generating the tree. So let's do that. Let's go to the R interface. So I'll say plot the tree without ladderizing. So to plot without ladderizing, you say ggtree my tree. And then you add your comma and then you say ladderize equals false. So you can plot it this way. So let's run it. So you will see that the appearance of the tree has changed. You can add your geom lab to make sure that we have our labels displayed. So you can see plus geom lab. So now we have our labels displayed for us. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going. Let's continue. With ggtree, it's possible to also change the color of the lines. So let's do that. So to change the color of the lines, we say ggtree and we say my tree, and then we say color equals, and then we give the name of the color that we want. So let's use Firebrick. I got this color also from the online manual. So let's run this. So you will notice that the color has changed. Let's use a different color here. Let's say blue. That's also there. So you can just look at the online documentation and then look at the colors available and then change them to suit your needs. So let's proceed. Let's use the Firebrick again. Okay. Aside the color, you can also change the size of the line. So let's do that here. So let's do it this way. So to change the size of the line, we call ggtree. We specify the tree objects and we say size equals 1. Let's use 1. So you notice the size of the line has changed. So that is how we do it. You can change the size. Let's use 2 for example. Yeah, so you can see the size being changed as you modify the number. Let's go back to 1. You can also change the line type. let's just say we want to change the line type to dotted. We can do it in ggtree. So let's look at an example here. So let me first give my comments. So to change the line type, we say ggtree, and then we specify my tree, and we say line type equals, and we give the type we want. So we are going to use dotted. So I say dotted. So you notice that what the line type has changed. So this is how we change the line type as well. You can combine all these steps also into one. So let's look at how we can change the color of the lines, change the size of the lines, and also change the type of line. So we will combine these three commands into one. So we can say ggtree, my tree, we say size equals 1. Let's say color equals fire brick. And then line type, we say dotted. So you notice the change here. You can also add the labels. So we can add our geom tip lab. So let's just repeat this command here and say plus geom tip lab. So this will give us what we need here. So you can do this as well. So just try your hands. Make sure you get your hands dirty with R programming. Let's remove this. You can also use two options. So we'll do this to get this. So just try. I mean, these commands are there. So you just have to look at what works best for you, or what you like, what you prefer, and then make the changes. That's all that you need to know. So let's continue. It is important for you to know that ggtree uses branch lengths to scale the tree. This is the default behavior of ggtree. And so if you want to disable it, you can also do that here. So let's look at how we can prevent, or how we can tell ggtree not to use the branch length to scale the tree. So let's look at that. But before we do that, let's just do my tree again. And then you will see that there's this statement here, rooted includes branch lengths. And so the branch lengths here are used by ggtree to scale the tree that we have. So let's look at how we can disable that option. So we'll do that here. So let me give a comment here. Okay, so let's look at that. So to do that, you say ggtree, and we say my tree, and we indicate branch.length, and we say equals none. We put that word in quotes, and then we run it. So you see that what the changes has been done. Let's look at the basic plots, ggtree, my tree. Let's look at this. So notice what I'm talking about. This one uses the branch length to scale the tree, and this one does not use branch length. So just look at what you want and then make the appropriate changes. Again, if you are here, you can just add your geom tip lab to get the labels as well here. So that's all that you need to know. Let's proceed. ggtree also allows you to change the layout. By default, we are using the rectangular layout. And so with ggtree, you can change your layout. When I say layout, I'm referring to the tree itself, how the lines are drawn. You can use rectangle, and you can use circular, etc. So let's look at how to make those changes. We will try a few of them here. So let's proceed. So to change the layout, we say ggtree, my tree, and then we say layout, and then we indicate the one we want. So let's say we want circular. We say circular. It should be in quotes. Now let's add the labels. So we say plus geom tip lab. So this will give us what we want. Again, you can disable the branch length. You can prevent ggtree from using the branch length to scale the tree. So let's add that. So we say what? Branch.length equals none. So notice the change. Let's look at this one here first. This is it. And without the branch length, there's also a different thing here. So that is how we change the layout. Let's use another layout here. Let's say this time I'll use this command. So let's change this layout. Let's say round rex. This will give us a different thing as well. Let's use a different layout. Let's say equal angle. This will give us another one as well. So this is how we change the layout. So just check the documentation and then you look at the layouts available and then you can use the one that you prefer. So that's how we do it. You will also notice that with the tree that we have been visualizing, we have not been using bootstrap values. Or let me just put it this way. You don't see the bootstrap values being indicated here. This is because the tree that we are using does not include the bootstrap values, and that is why ggtree does not use them. And so let's look at how we can use another tree that has bootstrap values and then indicates them as well. And so this means that we are going to use the second tree, the one that I made mention of, which is here. Let's look at that. This one here. This tree has bootstrap values. So we are going to read this tree and then visualize it. And then we will look at the bootstrap values that are displayed. So let's go back to the R interface. So we are going to read this tree and therefore we use a different variable name. So we say my tree with bootstrap and we say read.tree and then we indicate the name, which is raxml_by_partitions.tree. This one here. Let's make sure we have the spelling correct. Okay, so everything is okay. So let's read this tree. Now let's say my tree with bootstrap. So this will give us a description. We have our 6 tips and 4 internal nodes. The labels are here. We have the node labels and we also have what includes branch length. So this is what I'm talking about, the bootstrap values. These ones are here. That is the node labels. So what we are going to do is to visualize this tree and also indicate the bootstrap values. So let's proceed. So let's do that here. So we say ggtree and we indicate my tree with bootstrap and then we run it. So we have that here. So let's build upon what we have done so far. We'll add our tips. So I'll just say ggtree, my tree with bootstrap plus biome tip lab. I have it here. You will notice again that we have generated the trees, we have generated this tree, but then we still don't see these values, the bootstrap values. We are getting there, we are building upon it. So to add the bootstrap values, to indicate the bootstrap values, we use another function which is called geom_node_lab. So we will proceed, we will have our tree here with our tips, and then we add that function which is geom_node_lab. This will display the bootstrap values. So let's do that. So you will notice that the bootstrap values have been added. So that is what I am talking about. Again, you can change the color of the lines. You can also change the color of the bootstrap values. So let's look at how to do that. Let's just say we want to change the color of the bootstrap values, this one's here, to red. We will have our command. Let's use this one here. We will have our command here, and then in this function we specify what color equals red. So this will give us a different color. We can also change the size of the numbers being displayed or the values being displayed. So we can just say, we can give the same command, and this time we also indicate what size equals. Let's say size equals 5. Let's do it this way. So you notice the size has also increased. Okay, there has been a change. So you can decide the size that you want and then specify it here. Let's say 1. Yeah, 1 is too small. Let's go to 2. Let's go to 6. Now it's better. So just look at what works best for you and then you can decide what you want. Now we have this. We can also tell the ggtree that we don't want you to use the branch line to scale the tree. So let's do that as well here. So we will copy this command and then we will indicate what branch.length equals none, and then we will run it. So now we have it here. So this is how we do it. So in a nutshell, ggtree is a cool package that you can use to visualize your phylogenetic trees and also customize them, make some modifications, and then get publication quality figures that you can use in your paper. So that's how we do it. So this is the intro, and I hope to make another tutorial where I go into details with how to use ggtree. And so just make sure you come back to this channel to watch that video as well. Once I do it, you'll get a notification as well. If you also have any comments, if there's something you think you can add or there's something you think the viewers should know, you can just put all those stuffs in the comment section. Let's have a discussion. So that will be all for this tutorial. And if you want to learn more about how to generate phylogenetic trees, then check those videos that I made mention of. The links are in the description box. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next session. Goodbye.